How will Luka Dončić's new monster extension impact the Lakers' financial outlook this year and beyond? What kind of impact does it have on the roster? Also, more Lakers news to get into. Rob Pelinka talks about the Lakers' offseason acquisitions. Did LeBron James communicate with Luka Dončić after he signed his big deal? All that more coming up next on The Big Lead. What is up, and welcome to The Big Lead. My name is Doug McKain, credentialed member of the media. I've covered LA sports and the NBA for over a decade. 24/7 Sports Bleacher Report as side, do sports radio for Westwood One, do Dodgers Nation. If you're new to The Big Lead, it's the hottest stories in sports in less than an hour, and also tons of news and coverage for your purple and gold. I'm a lifelong Lakers fan. I've covered them professionally in the past, and you're going to get all things Lakers on this channel. So, got a lot of catching up to do, and we are going to talk about Luka Dončić and the extension that he signed. So, Luka Dončić, he became eligible to sign an extension with the Lakers last Saturday, and they wasted absolutely no time in getting a new deal done. He signed a 3-year maximum extension with a third-year player option, and we won't know the exact starting salary. We're not going to know the exact starting salary of his new extension until the NBA sets their 2026 and 2027 salary cap next summer, but the league's initial projection is that you're going to see a cap increase of about 7%, and rather that's a 10% increase, 7%, we don't know. That's how high it could get. So ballpark figure, according to the numbers you looked at, if it goes up by exactly 7%, it would be a $165.4 million extension, which is a monster figure for a 3-year extension. And based on that cap number right there, Luka's extension is going to start at $49.6 million, which is roughly just a lion's share, right? You're looking at 30% of the salary cap. If the cap goes up to 10%, then they'll take it at $170.1 million. So his new deal would start at $51 million. So look, doesn't matter what number it is, it's going to be massive, and it'll have a big impact on the salary cap, right? As far as what the Lakers are able to do. So we'll see what that means as far as the rest of the roster and who's available and the state of the team when we get there. But also another big domino there is the Lakers. They are positioned to have flexibility if LeBron James does not continue his career. So that is a major factor. Will LeBron James play past next season? But right now, the Lakers, they have just 4 players that are under guaranteed contracts past the 2025-2026 season. Luka Dončić, Jared Vanderbilt at $12.4 million, Jake LaRavia at $6 million, and Idu Tharo at $2.2 million. So you also have $4.2 million as a team option for Dalton Connect. You're going to most likely pick that up because you want to try to maintain any asset you have with him as far as having that asset and financial flexibility. Yeah, $1.25 million with Bronny James and his $2.3 million guaranteed salary. So the big kicker in all this is 2 things. You got LeBron James and then also Austin Reeves, who reportedly did turn down the Lakers' 4-year, $89.2 million max extension that they offered him earlier this summer. So that was not because he was unhappy with the Lakers. It was because he was trying to make the best decision for himself and his family and to try to maximize his earning potential because he stands to make a lot more as a free agent next offseason. But the Lakers, they could benefit from not signing him as well, depending on how they want to build out this roster. Because his salary for 25 and 26 at $13.9 million for Austin Reeves, that's above league average, and the free agent cap hold next year is going to be 150% of the past salary, so that would be at $20.9 million. the latest reports on Reeves is that he and his camp, they're looking for a salary that exceeds $30 million on his next deal. So he's looking to get paid big. So the Lakers, they're in a position with Reeves where you got full bird rights, so you can keep that $20.9 million cap hold on their books, and then you can use the rest of their cap space, and then you can re-sign him even though you're over the cap. So that's a really good situation, is that you can have money to spend, and because of those bird rights, you can still retain Austin Reeves, get him the money that he's looking for, at least hope to get close to it, and hope that he wants to be a Laker, and still put a very competitive roster around him with some flexibility. That is what the Philadelphia Sixers did exactly with Tyrese Maxey last offseason. And then you did spend big if you're the Sixers on Paul George, and unfortunately, it did not work out for them. Let's just put it like that. So if Luka Dončić's new extension starts at $49.6 million, you keep Reeves at $20.9 million cap hold with the way that it plays on the salary, and if you don't trade Vanderbilt, LaRavia, Thyro, Bronny, you'll head into next season with, wait for it, drum roll. Let's open that app. Let's see how much money we got. Oh, it's $97.6 million in salary on their book. So that does not account for the roster charges. You got $1.4 million, which you would have for not having 12 players on your rosters. There's things like that, and then you're at about $105.8 million. And if you keep Bronny, you would have 5 incomplete roster charges and $61 million in cap space. But still, if the cap is at $165.5 million, the Lakers could go into the offseason with $60 million in cap space. So there isn't anyone right now that you would circle, okay, he's the guy, because Jaren Jackson Jr. signed that extension with the Grizzlies. But still, you want to have a war chest. You want to have options. You want to have some flexibility to get something done. Rob Pelinka said, make no mistake, we're in win championship now mode always, but I don't want to bore people with apron talk. I think that the basketball public has had enough of that. But in the new system we're in, having optionality is key to building teams. I think that we have seen some great teams get stuck in the aprons, and once you're in them, it's hard to get out of them. You go on to say, we've been very intentional with keeping our optionality to make win now moves. If there's good moves to make or to have sort of our flexibility in the future, but I say all that, the optionality is there for us to use now if the right move comes its way. We want to make smart moves, but to be in a position of flexibility versus being stuck in is something that is really promising for how we're going to build this team moving forward. So the Lakers, they have a plan long term, they have a plan short term, and we don't know what the big picture plan is as far as pairing Luka Dončić with a fellow star, because we know that has been the model throughout the history of the NBA. Having one star is nice. Having 2 stars significantly increase your chance of winning it all. And we know that 2027, Giannis Antetokounmpo could be an option. Nikola Jokic could be an option. Dave McMenamin, he said that the Lakers' mission is to give the team as much margin to pivot as possible, either fueled by need or opportunity each season while maintaining championship aspirations. So to translate that, it's like, hey, we want to win, but we also want to be able to be in a position where if the biggest of names becomes available on the market, that we can throw our name into the hat. And whether that's having the money to sign them, having the assets to get a deal done, that is how they're trying to put themselves in a position to be a free agent destination, to be able to pay guys outright. So the Lakers, they're not going to be able to go over the cap forever. The league's most recent collective bargaining agreement, it does make it where the team's salary floor, where it's 90% of the salary cap by the first day of the regular season. So those that, you kind of have to work around that as well. So, for example, this offseason, it showed, look at the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets, you flipped Cam Johnson into Michael Porter Jr. and a fully unprotected 2032 first-round pick from the Denver Nuggets because they were able to take on Michael Porter Jr.'s big deal. And you also were able to get Terrence Mann, the number 2022 overall pick in the NBA draft, because you're able to take on Mann's contract without having to give up any salary. So bottom line is it helps you when you've got some financial flexibility, and that's certainly something the Lakers are extremely interested in, is being able to have that. And the thing about the second apron is it really it becomes just this weight on teams. And moving forward, when you get these super expensive rosters, you kind of max out on those credit cards, you really can't, there's no way to get out of that debt, right? You can't call the company and be like, hey, we're going to, do you have a pay and delete where you can just erase some of my credit card debt and I want to negotiate that? It's not really how it goes with this. I mean, the Lakers, their best bet is to have as much flexibility. LeBron James is going to retire at some point, and I think it's going to be after this season. Or at the very least, I just don't picture him being on the Lakers past next season. But even if the Lakers don't go out there and just spend their wad on a massive free agent, they're still also going to be in a position where you can improve the talent around Luka with trades by having the money to be able to absorb salary. So that's kind of where the Lakers are at as far as how the Luka Dončić deal impacts them. And I do want to point out that there was all this talk, LeBron James, and how LeBron James FaceTimed Luka Dončić to congratulate him on the extension with the Lakers. Yeah, he FaceTimed him, okay? LeBron, he's on vacation, man. Like, let's just be honest, right? Mark Stein wrote, LeBron and son Bronny James were noticeably not in attendance at the news conference for Luka Dončić, but I'm told that LeBron FaceTimed Dončić on Saturday morning to congratulate him on the new deal. So I think that's much ado about nothing. I mean, LeBron is a made man. I actually think it is kind of, in some ways, respectable that you let LeBron James go out and do a vacation, do whatever he wants to do. And I think it's respectable from LeBron's end to say, ooh, wow, let's let Luka shine. Like, when LeBron James goes anywhere, he commands attention. He sucks the oxygen out of the room, whether he likes it or not, just because of how famous he is, just because of the stature that he has in this league. So I think for Luka Dončić, in his sense, it's like, hey, like, this is almost symbolic in that, hey, LeBron's not here because I'm here, because this is my franchise. I'm the face of the purple and gold. I am the man in LA now. And on top of that, he's wearing the black suit with the white shirt, looking crispy and fresh on the cover of Men's Health. Just like I told you, what did I say a couple months ago? It was going to be revenge by Luka this offseason. So great to see that. It was great to see, too, that Luka Dončić, he was at the Backstreet Boys concert. That was pretty awesome stuff. Luka Dončić living that LA life now. Pretty great. I mean, man, that's just awesome. I love to see Luka Dončić embracing being a Laker, and you do that by doing stuff like that. A couple more things, too. Rob Pelinka, he talked a little bit about the Lakers' offseason additions, DeAndre Ayton and Jake LaRavia. Of course, Luka Dončić. He talked about Marcus Smart. One thing he said about Smart was, and then being able to add Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year a couple years ago, I think a chip on his shoulder to be back at that level and put the league on notice. I think having players like that surrounding both Luka and LeBron, guys who can defend multiple positions, is really important. So that's huge, just having that in this fold. So I'm excited about that. Excited about this Lakers team. He also said that he did have conversations with Luka in the offseason about the roster build. He said, in conversations with Luka, it was really important for us to get a lob-catching center, and we feel like getting DeAndre Ayton was huge. It's going to unlock so much in Luka's game. As you can tell in the pick-and-roll reads, he's the best in the world, and I think DeAndre is going to help. Our thesis for our roster was to get younger, and I think getting some 3-and-D players like Jake LaRavia that we could add at this age, having wings that can shoot and play on both sides of the ball, was really important. So, boom, there we go. Quick hit on the Lakers. Stay tuned. We're doing more Lakers stuff. We're going to have some interviews, talk about the purple and gold. Football season's coming too. Football fans is your spot as well. But that's going to do it for this episode of The Big Lead. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you want to do your boy the biggest favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and drop a comment down below. How do you feel about the Lakers offseason? What grade do you give it? I give it an A. How could you not? You got your face of the franchise locked in. So I want your takes, though, on all things purple and gold. Let me know down below. And until next time, I'm out.